So, what is your name, grade, and major?
My name is Hope Bentley. Do you want me
Just look at me.
Okay. My name is Hope Bentley. I'm a senior psychology major, criminal justice, and CRES minor.
Okay. And what groups and organizations are you involved with on campus?
You mean list all of them? Okay. God, I always forget the things I'm in whenever I'm asked. The Chancellor's Leadership Program, the TCU Justice Coalition,
That's good.
I really okay, we're gonna start. I'm involved in the Chancellor's Leadership Program, the TCU Justice Coalition. I'm involved with the HOP, Student Government Association, and I'm sure a few other things.
Okay. How did you get involved with TCU Justice Coalition?
Michelle Wen and I took the Black Civil Rights Movement class last spring. And we went on the justice journey. So we went to Mississippi and saw all the places where the civil rights movement had taken off, and we really learned a lot about that. And when we came back to TCU, we were very inspired by the movement that we had learned about, but kind of disappointed with where TCU was in regards to social justice and civil rights. And so we wanted to do something about that, and we wanted to find a way to fight discrimination on our campus. And so Michelle and Tamara and I came up with the idea of the Justice Coalition, which is not a TCU organization. We didn't want to do something official. We just wanted to have a way to bring together students who felt they were marginalized or who wanted to help marginalized students so that we could fight some of these issues that exist on TCU's campus.
And so what is the group doing to fight these issues and include all students?
So to bring social justice or some of the fight discrimination on campus is a huge goal and something that we can't change in our short time here necessarily. So we're starting small right now. We're just trying to draw attention to some of these issues that do exist, because honestly, if you've never interacted with people who are different than you, or you've never experienced oppression or marginalization, it's hard to know where it exists because it's very covert. So right now we're just talking to students about their experiences and sharing those experiences with TCU students and TCU administration and faculty so that they know that these things do exist on our campus, because you can't change an issue or fight it if people don't know that it exists. So that's what we wanted to do with Dear TCU, is find a very compelling way to share students' stories and draw attention to these issues and why inclusion is important to students at TCU. And so we hope that grows into more systematic changes at TCU. Ultimately, we would like TCU to put in a diversity component into the core curriculum, and we want TCU to hire more diverse faculty, and we want those statistics that say that marginalized students feel less comfortable and accepted at TCU. We want those things to change, but that it takes time, and it takes takes coordinated steps and a lot of planning to do that.
Yeah. And how did the group come up with something like Dear TCU?
Michelle and I were really just chatting and deciding kind of what we wanted to do this semester to draw attention to these issues. And there was an initiative a couple years ago that was called Dear World, and broadly it's to share stories, your own story and your experience with words written on your arm. And so we played off of that idea called Dear TCU, because we want TCU to know that we exist here, that these are experiences, and that this is important and it matters to us. And so we were just tossing around words, and that it just came up.
Okay. And was this a social media movement, or were there people involved on campus, like tabling or stuff like that, or was it just purely social media?
So right now it's just on social media. It started out as that. But we don't want it to stay on social media. TCU responded on Twitter, which we don't think that it should end there. Just TCU responding to us individually and telling us to DM them or talk to them about those issues is not what we want. We want this to come off of social media and to be a movement on campus. And so that's just the first step.
And do you think you guys got the eye or the attention of faculty and administration?
I think that we did. There's a lot of faculty who responded in support on Twitter, and whoever runs TCU's Twitter account, whoever in administration, I know that they saw this. I know that they are trying to act like diversity and inclusion is something that's happening on campus, and so they don't want to draw a lot of attention to it or act like it's a problem. So we're not done drawing attention to it. I think that administration and people higher up need to be directly confronted with these stories and issues. So whether they saw it or not, they haven't publicly acknowledged it, and that's something that we hope to continue working for.
And how important is faculty attention and involvement in your movement, and not just DTCU, but for the Justice Coalition?
Yeah, it's very important. Faculty are very important to campus, obviously, but specifically for one of our goals to pass a diversity component into the core curriculum, faculty have to do that. They are the ones who change that. So having them on student side and acknowledging these issues and empathizing with us is very important. And so it meant a lot to us that a lot of faculty did support Dear TCU and heard our stories. However, they're not the main change makers on this campus in terms of the systematic change. We need that to come from the top, and we need administration to start acknowledging these issues and acknowledging our presence on campus.
Okay. I had the question. What was the question? Guess I gotta refer back to my handy dandy phone. Okay. So what is the next step for the TCU Justice Coalition?
We're still working on it. We want to bring Dear TCU and our initiatives off the screen. We would like to get off the internet. We need activism to be happening on our campus grounds. So we're planning, trying to decide what our best response is to TCU. I think we were a little bit thrown off by their responses on Twitter, that they think that that would be an appropriate response to TCU students sharing their stories. So we're trying to figure it out. We want to continue to push for these changes, especially getting this component into the core curriculum, because that's happening fast in TCU faculty. So we want to continue to show them that that's something we care about, so that that will happen, as well as empowering marginalized students on campus so that they feel that they can speak their truth about these issues and continue to advocate for themselves. Because Michelle and I are graduating, and we don't want the Justice Coalition and Dear TCU to leave with us. We want it to continue to be inspiring students and giving them an avenue to be activists for themselves and for others.
And what can you say about the participation of the student body in the DTCU movement? Like the stories, how did that make you feel?
It was really cool. I didn't expect it to take off like it did. The pictures were amazing, and we really didn't expect that many people to participate, and especially seeing not only people who had taken pictures participating, but people taking their own pictures and tweeting even though they hadn't taken a picture. It was really cool for students to feel empowered enough to do that. And a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, you guys are like so brave for doing this. And that's really cool that people think that about us, that we can share our stories and stand up to an issue that people don't really want to talk about. And I'm really proud of all of the students who did that. And it's so cool to see all of our pictures put together, like how colorful they are and how beautiful the diversity is at TCU.
And you're a senior, so you're graduating soon, but if you come back in the future, how do you expect to see TCU's campus?
I really hope that it continues to be more diverse. I notice it even now, since I was a freshman, it has been getting more diverse. But I hope that when I come back, when I'm old, that I see more students who are different than each other interacting and just like hanging out. I hope that I see more diverse classrooms. That is what we really want through this movement. We don't just want students to be required to take a course to learn about cultures that are different than them. We don't just want more diverse bodies here teaching our students. We want to really change campus culture so that students are not afraid to talk to someone who's different than them because they might offend them, or they don't feel uncomfortable interacting with students who don't look like them because they don't know how they'll be treated. We want we want people to understand and celebrate our differences as a student body and know that we're here to learn and grow together. And so I really hope that it just becomes something natural that students can interact with each other even though they don't look the same.
Okay, that should be it.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh my God. I really messed up in the beginning.